But yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the Azure Linux community call. And these community calls are really a time for users to get together and discuss new features and provide feedback and just learn more about how others in the community are using Azure Linux. But with that being said, I will stop sharing now and give the floor to Christopher to present his demo.
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. Okay. So it is awesome to see everybody here on the community call. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm one of the maintainers on the two repos that I posted in the chat. The first one is called Sift. The second one's called Grype. And let me share my screen and give you, if you're not familiar with the tools, a little overview of what we're all about. Okay. So we have two tools at Anchore. And what we did was when we heard from our friends over in Microsoft that Azure Linux 3 was coming out, we wanted to be ahead of the curve as far as being able to detect and express vulnerabilities within the Azure Linux 3 ecosystem. What that means is a lot of you who've been on the project for a while know that it was named or called Mariner for some time, and it's been kind of going through this transition of a naming scheme. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that there was a seamless transition between anything that still had the naming Mariner ecosystem convention around it, as well as consuming the new oval data that they parse that they produce to show vulnerabilities in the Azure Linux 3 kind of upstream environments. So to do that, we use Sift to generate an SBOM against the image. That's a software bill of material. It's just a manifest of all of the packages that can be expressed within the RPMDB SQL database, as well as a couple other ecosystems that we detect. And then once we have those PRLs and we have the synonymous metadata of all of the packages, we then move over to using Grype to scan and look at the data that, again, is produced by Microsoft. So those are the two tools. If you want to check out more, Sift is just a general software bill of material tool. It makes sure that you can do SPDX or CycloneDX, and then Grype is the expression of how you can scan that. So that's enough slides. Let's actually look at code and start looking at some demos. But what I'm going to do first is, for those of you interested in how we got this update kind of working, I've linked a pull request now in the chat. This is the core PR for Funnel. That's our vulnerability funnel. And in that PR, you'll see some of the files to Python. Under parser.py, I think it's the fourth one, you'll see the link in there to the Azure Linux 3 kind of oval set of XML. That's what we're actually parsing. So if you want to see the actual source of the vulnerabilities, that's where you want to go look at, right in there. It's fourth from the top, and you'll see a huge, large URL that is the link to the oval data. So here on the left, what I'm going to do is I'll just clear out, because I was doing a little bit of a demo beforehand, just to be sure life was good. But I'm going to take a Sift SBOM that I've run against a way older preview image of Azure Linux 3. So this is a preview image that came out maybe in March, or I think early April. And what you can see is we're detecting a few of the older installed packages here, like expat, that's on 2.5. But what's good about the oval data that Microsoft releases is it gives you a fixed in clause. So you can see that all we have to do is bump from here to here, and then our vulnerability should be remediated. I think a lot of people in this call might have the sympathies of this situation where you're about to go to production, you're at that last step, or maybe second to last step, you see, oh my gosh, I have all of these vulnerabilities. How am I going to squash these or get write-offs for these before I can actually launch my software? And what people at Microsoft, and because they're so good with their security engineers there, what it usually ends up being is what this is on the right. This is the TDNF update. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pushing every single one of these kind of older, outdated packages up to their most recent one that the oval data says is fixed and patched. And hopefully we should have a container with no vulnerabilities after that. So what I did is I ran the container over here. I just ran TDNF update. And at the end of this, after we've done everything at the end of our day, I went ahead and I committed the container. So that one was running. We have this new Azure meeting container that hopefully, I haven't tested this yet, but we're going to cross our fingers, has done every single bit of the updates needed to do no vulnerabilities. And I'm just going to do /bin Grype against this new one. And would you look at that? First try. We've consumed all of the new updates released by the Microsoft security engineers. Every single one of our packages now has been analyzed as A-OK, thumbs up, you can go to production. And we have acted on all of these fixed in great annotations given by the Microsoft security engineers over at Azure Linux 3. So that's kind of a, I guess, small show and tell of how you can do small engineering as far as I have this old outdated image. I want to now move to I guess, fully updated, non-vulnerable image. And these are the tools, Sift and Grype, that it can use for the telemetry around making sure that my Azure Linux containers and my software are up to date, the most recent, and not vulnerable. Okay, those are the tools. And if you have more questions, please let me know. And reach out, come hang out on the pull requests. I'm always available for issues. And yeah, thank you so much for even taking the time to look at it today.